Hello, my name is William Dowdy. This is my speech. I'm going to make it a special presentation speech, awards presentation speech. The recipients of my presentation speech is actually my parents, Vernon and Donna Dowdy. The speech is going to be the Best Parents Award speech. I'll just start out by saying that my parents was very religious growing up, tried to follow all the laws that they could. They've had 3 children, myself being the oldest, my brother, and then my sister. Growing up, there wasn't a whole lot to have as far as money. We lived in a house. Starting off, we lived in a house out in the country. Lived on a hill. The house was kind of drafty and didn't have running water in it. Dad worked at, I believe it was Tioni's at that time, and didn't have a whole lot of money. The earliest thing I can remember at that house was traveling down to the spring down the road and getting water from the spring in 5-gallon buckets, bringing them back to the house. Also, from what I understand, at one point there was a story told that my dad actually went squirrel hunting out of squirrel season just to get food, to put food on the table. Once again, very law-abiding people, but he realized he had to do what he had to do. We moved into town a couple of years after that. When I was about 3, we moved into town. There were some people another story that I can remember, there were some people in the church. We was visiting their house. There was a little box of caps, like the snap caps that used to go on the cap gun. Well, I decided that I would have to have some of them, and so I took them, sold them. Well, I got caught. I believe, if I remember right, it was Dad that caught me. Marched my butt right back over there to the Wicks' house and made a big deal out of it. And I learned my lesson that day, a long time ago, that stealing is not a good option. Over the years, my parents have been super proud of the accomplishments that the 3 of us children have made. They tell us every time they talk to us about it, we're super proud of your accomplishments. Back to the discipline part, my mom was right there. She backed Dad up all the way when it comes to discipline. I mean, she might have been 5 foot nothing, still is 5 foot nothing, but she wasn't scared to jump in there and hang with the best of us kids when we had our little attitudes. Even later on in life, when I was out of the house, as I said earlier, my parents were very religious. Later on in life, when I opted to quit following the same religion that they did, the preacher actually came over to my house. The preacher of that church actually came over to my house, and I had to all but forcibly remove him out of my house at that point. And after he left my house, he went to their house to discuss something that shouldn't even been discussed with them. And they still stood up for me, even though I opted out of the religion that they followed. And that means a whole lot to me. Growing up, we heard multiple people, and my brother and my sister would attest to this too, that said, hey, your children are very disciplined. We like that. We like that. Now that I am married and have 2 children of my own, that's what I strive for. I mean, if I can grow up to be even half the parent that they were, it it's just gonna be amazing if I can pull that off, and that's what I strive for. My wife and I both strive for that, and it's something that I look forward to. With that being said, I would like to present this World's Best Parent Award to my parents. It's cheesy, it's a piece of paper, but even though it's just a piece of paper, there's much more behind it than just this piece of paper. But I would like to go ahead and give this to you, and my wife and I and kiddos would like to take you guys out to eat next time we're down at Butler, and just thanks for being the parents you were. Okay?
I would like to add a few words to